everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be a little different. I've been asked a couple of times to show you guys my makeup routine and the makeup products that I use, and I was going to do it in a vlog, but I saw Books with Chloe do a video where she did her makeup and answered questions, and I thought that would be really fun, so that's what I'm going to do today. I asked you guys to ask me some questions on Instagram, and you guys asked me quite a few questions, so hopefully I can get to most of them, but I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So I don't use a primer anymore. I used to use primers, but I don't use them anymore. I just don't think that they work. Also, I have very, combination dry and oily skin. I have very much of a mixture, and I feel like sometimes primers make me even more oily, so I don't really use them. Getting a little hot. It's very hot in my bedroom, so I'm taking off my sweater and I'm going to clip back my hair a little bit. I don't want to mess up my bangs, so I'm not going to touch them. The foundation that I use all of the time is the Rimmel London Lasting Finish foundation. I am in the shade 100 Ivory, and then I just use my beauty blender. All of my brushes are either Real Technique brushes or Morphe brushes. I clipped my bangs back. Okay, question number 1. How do you keep clean your books on your bookshelf? I use just a Swiffer. That's really how I dust my bookshelves and my books. It's gentle enough to use on my books, so that's kind of what I do. I don't really dust them that thoroughly, and I probably just dust them once a month, once every 2 months. I don't dust them that often because I don't feel like they really get that dusty. Next question. How do you choose the next book to read? Honestly, I just pick whatever I'm in the mood for. So if I know I'm in the mood for contemporary romance, then that's what I'll pick up. Honestly, I just kind of know what books I want to read. Does that make sense? I just have a feeling. I'm okay, I know I want to read this and this is contemporary, so I'll give it a try. Sometimes it will take me a couple of books to figure out what I do want to read or what I am in the mood for, but because I'm a mood reader, I just pick what I'm in the mood for. Have you ever thought of moving out of Canada? Yes. If I didn't have to think about money or missing my family, I would definitely live somewhere in England or in France, even though I've never been there before, but I just feel like I would really love it there, so I feel like I would possibly live over there. But also, I wouldn't mind living in LA for a little bit. I think that would be really fun. I was there maybe 6-7 years ago with my family, and I loved it, but I don't think I would live there for ever. I think maybe a year or two, or maybe even just the summer and fall I would live there, and that's it. Moving and legal stuff is so complicated that I don't think I would actually ever move. Next, I use the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. This I just use on my eyelids. Next question, do you like to play any video games? I recently got into Fortnite. I'm not that great, and I've kind of been not really playing that often, but I do enjoy Fortnite. I think it's fun. I also like watching other people play Fortnite. I just think it's a fun game, but that's kind of the only video game that I play. Also, I feel like if I have time to play a video game, I have time to read, so I'd rather read, so I don't end up really playing video games that often. Now I'm using my concealer, which is the Maybelline Master Conceal, and I am in the shade 20 Light. Next question, what's your job? So I'm still working in retail. I work in kind of the footwear department, so I only really deal with shoes, and I just help customers find shoes. That's kind of it. It's definitely easier and better than my old job, but I do miss working with my friends. I had to, meet new people and get to know new people and stuff. The only thing I really miss about my old job is working with my friends. Then I'm going in with this Hoola bronzer. It's the Hoola Light, and this I just use to contour. Is there a genre or style of book you wish you would enjoy more, but you can't seem to? I would say probably like fantasy. I used to love like YA fantasy, and now I just find it incredibly boring. Like, I don't enjoy fantasy that much. And even like romance fantasy, I also find really boring too. Just because like the romance is usually like not the center of the book, like the fantasy element is. So I don't know. Next question. From where come your love of books, and since when? I've kind of always been a reader, even when I was younger, but I really started getting into reading when Twilight was popular, like right after the first movie had come out. I think I kind of took a break, but I started like actively reading in like 2012. I read like all of the Pretty Little Liars books. I read 13 Reasons Why. I read like Divergent and The Mortal Instruments and all of those books. So that is kind of how like my reading journey started. I think I also made a video a really, really long time ago about my reading journey. I think it's still on my channel. It's quite old, but I'm pretty sure I go into detail about like what books I remember reading first. I just used another bronzer. This is a little bit more of like an orangey bronzer. So I use the Physicians Formula Beauty Balm bronzer in light to medium, I guess. I don't know. This is really, really old. I don't think they make this anymore. I'm not sure. I'm going in with my blush now, and I use the Maybelline Fit Me in 20 Mauve, I think. Favorite actor and actress and favorite movie. My favorite actor is probably Paul Wesley or John Bernthal. And my favorite actress is Dakota Johnson and Jemima West. My favorite movie is, oh my god, I feel like I'm blanking on my favorite movie, but I love Moulin Rouge. I love The Nice Guys. I don't know why, but I'm thinking The Little Mermaid. I'm pretty sure I've made a video on my favorite movies of all time. I should probably do an updated video on that, but those are really the only movies that are coming to my mind right now. So now I'm going to go in with some setting powder. So I am just using the Rimmel London Match Perfection Silky Loose Face Powder, and this is in transparent. Do you ever reread books to get out of a reading slump? If not, how do you get out of it? Sometimes I will reread a book, but honestly, I feel like I don't really do that. I kind of just try a bunch of different books. Like, I'll just try reading a couple of different books and see which one sticks. But I don't ever really reread books to get out of a slump. It's usually I reread an old favorite book because I want to reread it. Now I'm going to move on to the eyes. What's your favorite pen to journal with? I really love my Crayola Super Tips, but I also really love the Papermate pens that I use, like the Flare ones. I can't remember what they're called at the top of my head. Are you planning on rereading a series? I did actually just reread the Monster in His Eyes trilogy, which is one of my favorites of all time. I loved rereading it. It was great. I'm actually going to put some lip balm on. This is the Quo Beauty. I think that's how you say it. This is in Punch 27. This is just their glowy lip balm. Okay, now for the eyes, I'm going to go with this Wet n Wild Vanity palette, and I'm just going to use this color right here all over my lid. What TV show or movie adaptation from books are you most looking forward to? Honestly, the only one I'm really excited about right now is After Ever Happy. That is supposed to come out at the end of August for Canada, I think. So I'm excited for that. And then not necessarily an adaptation, but I'm really excited for the 2 sequels of Through My Window. I'm very excited to see what they do with that. But yeah, those are kind of the only adaptations that I'm excited about at the moment. I mean, I'm kind of excited about the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I'm curious to see who they're going to cast and like what they're going to do with that. Oh, I'm really excited about Daisy Jones, of course. I'm very excited for Daisy Jones. I feel like there was another one. Oh, This Man, I'm kind of excited about. That's a Passionflix adaptation of the book by Jodi Ellen Lopez. I'm curious about that one, so we'll see. And then I use this Maybelline eyeshadow. It is called Made for Mocha. This I use kind of like as an eyeliner on my top and bottom lash line. So I kind of just do a line first and then I smoke it out. Because I don't wear eyeliner anymore. I don't wear false lashes anymore, which I used to wear for years, and I just stopped wearing them because they were really uncomfortable and I just don't really feel like they fit my eye because I have very like hooded eyes, so I don't wear eyelashes anymore. Also, they're like a pain to put on and take off, and I just got very tired of it. What do you do to get in the mood to read? Coffee, tea, candles, etc. I honestly don't do anything. I just pick up a book when I'm in the mood to read. Sometimes like I'll drink coffee while I'm reading, but that's kind of rare. I usually drink coffee in the morning and then maybe I'll have like a cup during the day if I feel like it, but I never really do that. I try to only have 1 cup of coffee a day because if I have more than like 2, I get super, super anxious. Do you live alone or with your parents? I live alone. I've lived alone for like 6 years, 7 years. I'm sorry if the angle changed, my camera died, so I had to change the battery. What kind of music are you often listening to? I've talked about the kind of music I like in my currently listening videos. It's been a while since I've done one, but I like kind of alternative pop and rock and roll music. Like my favorite artists are Lana Del Rey, Banks, Florence and the Machine, and The Neighborhood. And then I also really love like the old classics like Fleetwood Mac, the Rolling Stones, all of that kind of stuff. What is one book you wish you could read for the first time again? Honestly, probably the Addicted series. I read it back in like 2014 and 2015. I love that series so much. I wish I could reread it for the first time, although it's been years since I've read it, so it probably would feel like I'm reading it for the first time again. Also maybe like The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. I know that's random, but I really love that series. Any other hobbies you enjoy besides the things you talk about on your channel? Honestly, not really. Like everything I kind of talk about on my channel is basically it. Like I love, obviously, books, TV shows, movies. Well, like I am into fashion, I guess, but I feel like that's kind of obvious with like the clothes that I wear and stuff. Did you read the Iron Face series by Julie Kagawa? I think I just read the first book and I didn't really like it, so I didn't continue. How do you see the future for your channel and about your life in general? For my channel, honestly, I'm thinking about doing more vlogs and less sit-down videos. I just don't feel like my sit-down videos do as well anymore, and sometimes I feel like I don't really enjoy filming them that much. Like the occasional one I really like filming. I honestly just don't think that you guys enjoy them that much anymore. So I think I'm gonna do vlogs. I've also been like really into watching a lot of people's vlogs lately, so it's kind of inspired me to maybe do more vlogs. I also kind of want to change up my wrap-ups and stuff. I don't really know if I want to keep doing wrap-ups because I hate filming wrap-ups, but we'll see what the future brings for my channel. I really don't know. I'm trying to just figure out what I want to do with my channel at the moment because I feel like it's just not doing as good as I know it can. I think for me it's hard because I want to put out like 2 to 3 videos a week, but if I vlog, I can't do that. So I'm gonna have to sacrifice something, and that's probably gonna be me uploading less but making better videos. And I have a really hard time accepting that, so I need to like really deal with that and figure that out. And about my life in general, I really don't know. I think that's one of like the hardest questions, especially like now turning 26. I don't know what to do with my life. I really don't. I try not to think about it too much because it's not a good thing to think about all the time. Okay, now for my highlighter, I'm using the Wet n Wild Mega Glow in Blossom Glow. The cap ripped off, so I just use this. And I use it here. I use it on my brow bone, sometimes in my inner corner. And then I put some up here, which now that I'm thinking about it is kind of pointless because I have bangs. But that's where I usually put it too. What is the one thing that can make you be obsessed with a book that you're reading? Honestly, it probably just has to have like some of my favorite tropes. And I just have to really like the characters and really like the romance. For me, a really, really good book is when I don't pay attention to how many pages I have left of the book. If I'm looking at the pages or if I'm looking at the like percent of, how much percent I have left in the book, if I'm looking at those things, then obviously the book is not capturing my attention whatsoever. It's gonna be like a 2 to 3 star book. But if I can't stop thinking about the book after I finish it, if I want to like immediately reread it, there's nothing specific that I can pinpoint to be like, oh, this is what makes a good book for me. It's more just like I can't stop thinking about it. And like I'm obsessed with the romance and the characters, and I have to be like obsessed with every single element of the book to give it like 5 stars. Planning on any future journal content? Not at the moment. Everything that I've put up journal-wise is kind of it that I'm gonna put up for a while. I'm sure I'll do like a stationery haul in a bit maybe. I haven't bought anything lately, so that might not be for a while, but I don't have any other journal content planned. I'm now going to do my eyebrows, so I'm just gonna brush through them a little bit, and then I'm gonna go in with this eyebrow pencil. This is from the brand Annabelle, and this is just an eyebrow pencil in Auburn. I like to use a red eyebrow pencil so it can match my hair a little bit better, even though my brows are kind of like a dirty blonde. I just like to use this to give it a little bit more color. I also have pretty full brows naturally, so I don't go overboard. I just kind of add a little bit of color. What was your main motivation behind starting a YouTube channel in the first place, and when did you start it? I think it'll be 6 years this year. In end of August, I think it'll be 6 years that I've had this channel. Honestly, 6 years ago, there were barely any romance booktubers. There were a couple, but there wasn't as many as there are now. I started watching BookTube when I was like reading YA and stuff, but I was already into reading romance and I wanted to add another romance voice to BookTube. So I started my channel, and now there are so many romance booktubers. It's amazing. Also, I had moved out, so I was living here alone. So I was like, it's finally time for me to start my channel. I didn't have to live with anybody. I didn't have to deal with like people interrupting me or overhearing me film videos. So I thought it was like the perfect opportunity to start my channel. Okay, and then I'm going to use this NYX, the brow glue. This I just use to kind of set my brows, even though my brows end up falling because my bangs are in the way. Do you know French? How much if you do? Yes, I do know French. I went to a French school my entire life. I graduated with a bilingual diploma. My father is French. He grew up in a French family. So with my dad's side of the family, I only spoke French. I will say my French probably isn't that great anymore because I haven't really had the opportunity to practice. Both of my grandparents have passed away, and I don't ever speak French with my dad or my brother or anything like that. My mom doesn't speak the language. Very, very fluent. I can read and write in French. I actually bought a copy of Twilight in French because I wanted to reread Twilight, and I thought it would be fun to read it in French because I've never done that, but I still have the copy unread. Now I'm going to do my eyelashes, so I'm just going to curl my lashes first. So I use 2 different mascaras. I use one for my top lashes and then one for my bottom lashes. So I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise on my top lashes. Loving your hair recently. Have you changed something in your routine, or is it just haircuts? Thank you. I don't think I've been using anything different, but I feel like I have been taking care of my hair a lot more recently. Obviously I cut my bangs, which I really, really love. That is one thing that I am so happy I did. Like, I know so many people are like, don't get bangs, never get bangs. Like, it's the worst decision. But honestly, if you have a big forehead like I do, get bangs, okay? Getting bangs was like the best thing I did for my hair. I really, really love having bangs. But yeah, I try to take care of my hair a little bit more because I diet. I've been using oils a little bit more. I've been using like better shampoos and stuff. Maybe I'll talk about like my hair care routine in a vlog or something if you guys are interested. But yeah, I don't really do that much that's different. I just have bangs now and I dye my hair red. I feel like that was kind of a majority of questions. I did get asked about my beauty channel. So I used to have a beauty channel, which I basically got rid of all the videos on there because I hadn't uploaded in like 3 years. I just never had time to create content for that channel, so I ended up just deleting all the videos, and I don't plan on ever uploading on that channel again. I had that other channel because I wanted to keep things separate from like books, TV shows, and movies, but I am not going to do that anymore. It's just like I'm going to put it all together. And if you want to hear me occasionally talk about like beauty and hair and fashion, like that will be in some of my vlogs. I kind of want to make my vlogs a little bit more personal, but also I want to still talk about books and TV shows and movies. I mean, my vlogs will probably be mainly focused on reading, but like I probably will have like life related stuff in that too. And for my bottom lashes, the mascara I use is a Maybelline Define a Lash mascara. I just think the brush is really small, so it fits perfect for my bottom lashes. Okay, so I think that is it for my makeup routine. Occasionally I will use a setting spray. I am not going to today because I feel like my skin is pretty glowy because I used a lot of moisturizer. But if I do use a setting spray, I have 2 that I alternate. So I have the Rare Beauty, what is this called? Always an Optimist setting spray. And then I occasionally use the Urban Decay All Nighter. This one is great if you really want like a glowy, dewy look. And then the All Nighter is good if you want your makeup to last a really long time. I feel like my makeup, especially my foundation, it definitely oxidizes. I really need to try to find a better foundation. I've tried other foundations and they always look super yellow or orange on me, and this is the only one that doesn't look that bad. So I continue to use it even though it oxidizes later in the day. Oh, and I just realized I forgot to show you guys what lipstick I use. I typically wear the Bare It All lipstick from Wet n Wild. It's just like a nude. I pretty much wear it in every single video. It's really the only lipstick I wear nowadays. I just don't really like to wear a lot of color. So that is what the lipstick looks like. I don't use a lip liner or anything like that. I just literally put on the lipstick. So that is it for my makeup routine. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much to those who submitted questions. I really appreciate it. And I hope I answered your questions good enough. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, follow me on all my other social media, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.